We're counting down the 12 car brands most likely to drain your bank account, according to hard numbers and real long-term ownership costs. From luxury badges that rapidly lose half their value to so-called bargains that explode with hidden fees and repair headaches, these brands are all connected by devastating depreciation and maintenance traps most drivers never see coming. Which brand makes the $50,000 mistake almost everyone regrets? Let's start the countdown with number 12. Every car brand on this list earned its spot through hard numbers, not just reputation. To separate myth from reality, the ranking uses 3 key data points: long-term reliability, true ownership cost, and real-world depreciation. Each brand was measured using industry-standard sources like Consumer Reports and J.D. Power, and 5 to 10 years of resale data from Kelley Blue Book and Edmunds. Reliability scores came from thousands of owner surveys, tracking how often cars break down and what kinds of repairs they need. Depreciation was calculated by comparing original sticker prices to what the same models actually sell for 3 and 5 years down the road. Maintenance and repair costs were tallied using national averages, factoring in both scheduled service and those wallet-busting surprises that tend to pop up once warranties expire. Brands that consistently land at the bottom of these rankings share a few patterns. They promise luxury or performance, but their resale values collapse faster than the competition. Owners report more frequent and more expensive repairs, especially after the warranty runs out. Some brands lure buyers with a flashy badge or aggressive incentives, but the hidden costs add up: higher insurance rates, expensive parts, and labor bills that can double or triple what mainstream brands charge. The methodology also weighs how easy or how painful it is to keep these cars on the road. This includes tracking parts availability, the size and reach of the dealer network, and how long owners typically wait for repairs. Brands with shrinking service networks or hard-to-find parts scored lower, since these factors can leave drivers stranded or facing months-long waits for basic fixes. To make the list, a brand had to fail in at least 2 out of 3 categories: reliability, depreciation, or maintenance costs. Some brands are notorious for just one problem, like catastrophic value loss or sky-high repair bills, but the worst offenders check every box. The ranking does not just focus on exotic or ultra-luxury models. It includes brands that market themselves as affordable, yet still trap buyers in a cycle of rapid value loss and repair headaches. Every claim in this countdown is anchored in published data and real ownership stories, not just online opinions or marketing hype. The goal is to cut through the noise and give a transparent look at which brands cost the average driver the most over time. As the countdown continues, expect to see specific models, dollars, and years. So every number is tied to a real-world example, not just a theoretical average. That way, every brand on this list earns its spot with evidence, not just reputation. Shopping for a Maserati means stepping into a world where image often outweighs practical sense. Before signing any paperwork, a buyer has to ask a different set of questions than with most luxury brands. Is the prestige of the Trident badge really worth the long-term headache? Would you feel comfortable owning a car that is notorious for steep value drops and expensive repairs, even when it shares parts with more affordable brands? Every negotiation should include a clear understanding of what is covered under warranty, how long it lasts, and what happens when it runs out. Do not assume parts will be easy to find, or that any mechanic can handle a Maserati's quirks. Many shops refuse these jobs, and dealer service can come with a premium price tag. Ask for a full service history, not just oil changes, but every major component replaced or repaired. If you are considering a certified pre-owned model, get the inspection checklist in writing. Push for documentation on software updates and recall work, since electronics and infotainment systems can be a common sore spot. And always get a realistic trade-in estimate, not just a blue sky number. For anyone drawn to the badge, these steps are the difference between a calculated risk and a costly mistake. The smartest move is knowing exactly what you are getting into before the excitement of the test drive fades and reality sets in. Owning a Land Rover means living with a unique set of service realities that most buyers never consider until it is too late. Getting regular maintenance is not just a matter of booking an appointment. Many owners find themselves driving long distances because the dealer network has thinned out, especially outside major cities. For anyone who lives more than 1 hour from a service center, even a minor warning light can turn into a logistical headache. When something does go wrong, parts availability is another hurdle. Simple components like sensors or control modules are often back-ordered, with some owners reporting multi-week waits for repairs that would be same day on a mainstream brand. Independent shops rarely touch newer Land Rovers because of proprietary diagnostics and the risk of warranty disputes, so there is little choice but to pay dealer rates, which can run $200 an hour or more. These realities mean that even routine fixes can sideline a vehicle for days or weeks, especially after the warranty ends. The cost of keeping a Land Rover on the road is not just about money, it is about lost time and the unpredictability of whether help will be available when you need it most. For buyers who value peace of mind and easy service, these risks add up to a serious hidden cost. Alfa Romeo ownership attracts a certain kind of driver, someone who values character and style over predictability. For those drawn to the brand's Italian flair, the decision is not just about transportation, but about living with a car that feels alive, quirks and all. Yet that personality comes with a price. Anyone considering an Alfa needs to set aside a realistic budget for both routine service and unexpected repairs, far beyond what you would spend on a typical German or Japanese rival. Extended downtime is a real possibility, as part shortages and slow supply chains can leave even basic repairs waiting for weeks. Insurance costs tend to run higher due to repair complexity and spotty reliability records. For buyers with a second car in the garage, or those who enjoy the process of hunting down rare parts and working with specialty shops, Alfa can deliver a unique experience. But for anyone who relies on a single vehicle or needs predictable costs, the trade-offs quickly outweigh the romance. The best candidates for Alfa ownership are those who understand the risks, budget for surprises, and see the car as a passion project rather than a daily appliance. For everyone else, there are safer bets with fewer headaches just around the corner. Electrical problems haunt Jaguar owners long after the new car smell fades. Dashboard warnings, sudden battery drains, and malfunctioning infotainment systems are common complaints, even on models less than 5 years old. Independent mechanics who specialize in European cars often describe Jaguar wiring as a puzzle, one that is prone to corrosion and intermittent faults, especially in damp or coastal climates. Door locks, window switches, and backup cameras regularly top the list of trouble spots. For anyone set on buying a used Jaguar, a thorough pre-purchase inspection is non-negotiable. Mechanics recommend scanning for stored error codes, checking every electrical accessory, and inspecting the main battery and alternator for early signs of failure. It is wise to test all lighting, sensors, and climate controls because small glitches can hint at larger hidden issues. Keeping detailed service records and sticking to scheduled maintenance can help, but no routine prevents every electrical surprise. Some owners invest in extended warranties or specialized diagnostic tools, hoping to limit out-of-pocket repair costs. Still, many independent shops hesitate to take on late-model Jaguars, citing limited parts availability and complex electronic systems. For drivers who want to avoid costly downtime, the safest approach is to research common model-specific failures and to budget extra time and money for repairs that go beyond the basics. Electric cars promise lower fuel costs and fewer moving parts, but the real expenses often hide beneath the surface. Before committing to any electric vehicle, the first question is about the battery. Most electric vehicles, including Teslas, use lithium-ion packs that can cost anywhere from $13,000 to $22,000 to replace once out of warranty. Warranty coverage typically lasts 8 years or 150,000 miles. But after that, a single battery failure can wipe out years of fuel savings. Charging infrastructure is another point to check. Tesla's supercharger network once offered a clear advantage, but recent changes mean even non-Tesla drivers can now access those stations. That levels the playing field, and it can also mean less exclusivity and potentially longer wait times during peak hours. Insurance is a third factor that catches many new owners off guard. Premiums for high-performance electric vehicles like the Model S Plaid can run 25% to 45% higher than similar gas or hybrid cars, driven by expensive parts and the complexity of repairs. Even minor accidents can require specialized labor and original equipment manufacturer components, pushing repair bills well beyond what most drivers expect. Anyone considering an electric car should compare not just sticker prices and charging speeds, but also long-term battery health, insurance quotes, and the availability of local repair shops certified for high-voltage systems. These are the checkpoints that separate a smart electric vehicle purchase from a costly experiment. Buying a used Chrysler or Dodge often means stepping into the world of former rental cars and fleet vehicles. These cars cycle through auctions by the thousands every year, many with hidden histories that do not show up on a standard Carfax. A quick VIN check can reveal if a car spent its early life in a rental fleet, and that is usually a sign to walk away. Fleet vehicles rack up hard miles, often with minimal maintenance beyond the bare minimum. Look for uneven tire wear, mismatched paint, or worn interiors, which can hint at a rough past. Always insist on a full mechanical inspection by an independent shop, not just a dealership walk-around. Transmission issues are a known sore spot, so a test drive should include highway speeds and stop and go traffic to expose any hesitation or hard shifts. If a seller cannot provide a complete service record, especially for models like the 200, the 300, the Charger, or the Pacifica, consider it a red flag. Negotiate on price while factoring in the likelihood of major repairs, and budget for at least $2,000 in the first year to be safe. Certified pre-owned programs can offer some peace of mind, but coverage varies, so read the fine print on what is actually included. In the used market, patience pays off. Passing on a questionable Chrysler or Dodge 2D can save thousands in repairs and headaches down the road, especially as dealer networks shrink and parts become harder to source. A low sticker price can look like a bargain, but with Mitsubishi, the numbers rarely add up in the end. On paper, models like the Mirage and the Outlander seem designed for budget-minded shoppers, offering some of the cheapest new car payments in America. That initial savings, though, hides a long list of hidden costs that show up later. Technology lags behind the competition, with features and infotainment systems that feel a decade out of date even in brand new models. Service access is another problem. As Mitsubishi's market share has shrunk, so has its dealer network, leaving many owners with fewer places to turn when repairs are needed. Independent shops may not stock parts for low-volume models, and even basic components can take weeks to arrive. This means a simple repair can sideline your car for far longer than expected, and the out-of-pocket costs often climb once the limited warranty ends. On the used market, resale values collapse faster than average, turning what looked like a cheap ride into a money-losing proposition. For shoppers, the lesson is clear. A low monthly payment does not guarantee a low total cost. The real expense of owning a Mitsubishi often reveals itself only after the excitement of the purchase fades away. Owning a Fiat in America often means surrendering control over your schedule every time the check engine light comes on. Unlike mainstream brands, where a quick trip to the local parts store or mechanic solves most problems, Fiat owners face a different reality. Parts for models like the 500X or 124 Spider are rarely stocked domestically, so even simple repairs can trigger weeks of downtime as components are shipped from overseas, leaving owners waiting for weeks. When a water pump or sensor fails, the car may sit undrivable for months while the owner waits on a delivery that is out of their hands. Independent shops, wary of unpredictable delays and unfamiliar systems, frequently turn away late-model Fiats, leaving drivers dependent on a shrinking dealer network. Some owners try to sidestep these headaches by sourcing used parts online or joining enthusiast forums to track down rare components. But this DIY approach carries risks and rarely matches factory quality. Before buying any imported small brand car, it is essential to research which parts are commonly back-ordered and to ask dealers about average wait times for repairs. Checking the availability of local specialists and reading owner forms can reveal whether you are facing a short-term inconvenience or a long-term parking lot. For anyone used to the convenience of mainstream brands, Fiat ownership introduces a level of unpredictability that goes far beyond the initial price tag. Spotting trouble with Infinity's transmissions requires more than a quick test drive. The brand's widespread use of continuously variable transmissions, known as CVT, has produced a pattern of early failures, sometimes before 80,000 miles. A careful buyer starts by checking for signs of hesitation, slipping, or shuddering when accelerating from a stop. Watch for any unusual noises, delayed gear changes, or warning lights. Even a minor vibration at highway speed can signal expensive repairs ahead. It is essential to review the service history for regular fluid changes, because skipped maintenance accelerates wear. Independent mechanics often advise running a full diagnostic scan, since hidden transmission codes do not always trigger a dashboard alert. When negotiating, use any sign of delayed service or incomplete records as leverage. Infinity transmission repairs can exceed $4,000, and replacement units are in short supply for older models. For buyers considering a used Infinity, insist on a certified pre-owned warranty or a third-party inspection to prevent a costly surprise. If the seller hesitates, it is safer to walk away. With depreciation already steep, every dollar saved up front helps offset the risk. In the used luxury market, knowing how to spot and negotiate around these red flags can make the difference between a smart deal and a financial headache. Buying a Cadillac in today's market means dealing with technology that can outpace even the most seasoned mechanics. Before committing, it is essential to get hands-on with every screen, button, and digital feature. The TUEE infotainment system has been the subject of class action lawsuits over touch failures and software glitches. Ask the dealer for a full demonstration of all electronic systems, and do not hesitate to run through real-world scenarios, such as Bluetooth pairing, navigation, climate controls, and backup cameras. Request documentation on past software updates, and make sure any recall work is confirmed in writing. Extended warranties often exclude infotainment and electronics, so read the fine print and ask specifically about coverage for screens and modules. Since Cadillac's tech evolves quickly, check whether over-the-air updates are supported on the model you are considering, or if updates require a dealer visit. For used models, insist on a diagnostic scan to catch hidden error codes that may not trigger dashboard warnings. If the vehicle is out of warranty, get a written quote for potential repairs, because screen replacements and module swaps can run thousands of dollars. These steps help protect against costly surprises and ensure that you are not left stranded by a failed sensor or frozen display. In a market where luxury is increasingly defined by software, due diligence is the best defense. Paying a premium for a luxury badge does not always mean getting a fundamentally different car. With Lincoln, the difference between a Navigator and its Ford Expedition twin often comes down to leather seats, extra chrome, and a higher monthly payment. For some buyers, that extra comfort and a quieter ride might justify the cost, especially if the plan is to lease for a few years and move on before warranty coverage runs out. But for anyone planning to keep a Lincoln past the first 3 or 4 years, the numbers start to look less appealing. Resale values drop faster than Japanese luxury rivals, and maintenance costs remain high, even though many parts are shared with mainstream Fords. Extended warranties can help, but they rarely cover every electronic glitch or routine wear item. Before paying thousands more for a Lincoln badge, it is worth comparing the total cost of ownership against the Ford equivalent, factoring in depreciation, service, and insurance. For drivers who value status and plan to trade in early, the premium might feel justified. For long-term owners, the extra money often buys little more than a fancier badge. Making a smart decision means looking past the marketing, running the numbers, and being honest about how much that extra luxury really matters in day-to-day life. A smart car purchase starts with knowing what's under the badge. Buick often markets itself as a step above mainstream, but most of its vehicles share their bones and engines with Chevrolet or Opel models, just with a higher price tag. Before settling on a Buick, it pays to cross-shop directly against the Chevrolet equivalent. For example, the Enclave and the Chevy Traverse ride on the same platform, and use nearly identical powertrains, yet the Enclave commands a significant premium for little more than a different grille and badge. The Encore, Buick's smallest SUV, is essentially a rebadged Chevrolet Trax or Opel Mokka, but often comes with fewer incentives and a higher sticker price. Negotiating with this knowledge can be powerful. Ask the dealer for a detailed breakdown of what is truly different between the Buick and its Chevy twin. Insist on a side-by-side comparison of features, warranty coverage, and total cost of ownership. Use published resale values from sources like Kelley Blue Book to highlight how quickly the Buick loses value compared to its mainstream counterpart. If a dealer will not match the incentives or discounts available on a similar Chevrolet, do not hesitate to walk away. The strongest negotiation lever is the willingness to buy the more affordable alternative. For many buyers, the badge alone does not justify the markup. Running the numbers and refusing to pay for superficial differences can save thousands over the life of the vehicle. Spotting a high-cost car brand does not require a degree in finance or hours of research. Start by looking past the badge and focus on 3 simple rules. First, check long-term reliability ratings from sources like Consumer Reports. Second, compare 5-year resale values using Kelley Blue Book or Edmunds. Third, ask for real maintenance cost estimates, both during and after warranty. If a brand's resale value drops more than 50% in 3 years, that is a warning sign. High annual repair bills, especially once the warranty ends, are another red flag. Pay attention to the size of the dealer network and how quickly parts can be sourced. If a mechanic or dealer hesitates to quote repair times or costs, move on. Smart buyers use these shortcuts to avoid the kind of expensive surprises that turn a new car into a long-term regret. For anyone determined to avoid a maintenance nightmare, planning ahead is the best defense. Setting aside a dedicated reserve, typically $1,000 to $2,000 per year of ownership, can turn a surprise repair into a manageable expense rather than a financial crisis. Before buying, always ask for a breakdown of what is covered under the standard warranty and what is excluded, especially for electronics and wear items. Extended warranties can offer some peace of mind, yet it is crucial to read the fine print and understand the limits, because many will not cover the most common or most costly failures. Compare manufacturer-backed plans with third-party options to reveal hidden gaps in coverage or big differences in price. Check for certified pre-owned programs for another safety net, often including extra inspections and longer protection. By treating maintenance like a fixed cost and evaluating every warranty detail, buyers can sidestep the worst surprises and keep ownership costs under control, even with a high-risk brand. Checking parts availability before buying can save months of frustration down the road. Start by asking the dealer for a written list of in-stock replacement parts specific to the model you are considering. Do not settle for vague promises. Request actual inventory numbers for essentials like sensors, control modules, and body panels. Call at least 2 independent parts suppliers to compare availability and pricing for common repairs. Ask how long it takes to source items not on the shelf, and whether aftermarket options exist for the model. Research online owner forums for reports of recent parts, delays, or back orders. If the car has been discontinued or the brand has closed dealerships in your area, dig deeper with local mechanics to gauge their willingness to work on it. This checklist turns a hidden risk into a clear decision point. If answers are slow or uncertain, it is a warning sign that could cost you time and money after the sale. Financing a car does not have to be a guessing game. Start by calculating the true monthly payment, not just the number the dealer quotes, but including taxes, insurance, and expected maintenance. Add up the total cost over the full loan term, then compare it to the car's projected resale value in 3 or 5 years using tools like Kelley Blue Book or Edmunds. If the numbers show you will owe more than the car is worth after a couple of years, that is a warning flag for negative equity. Never sign without a clear written breakdown of interest rates, loan length, and all fees. Ask for out-the-door pricing and compare it to similar models with better value retention. Bring a simple checklist: loan terms, warranty coverage, resale projections, and maintenance estimates. These steps turn a complicated purchase into a straightforward choice, making it easier to spot which brands deserve your money and which ones do not. Choosing a car that holds its value starts with a clear checklist. Focus on brands with a proven track record for reliability. Look for top spots in annual surveys, not just flashy features or new tech. Compare real-world resale values for the models you're considering, using 5-year numbers from trusted sources. Dig into maintenance costs by asking for itemized estimates from both the dealer and local independent shops. Evaluate warranty coverage, especially for electronics and high-cost repairs, and check if certified pre-owned programs add meaningful protection. Prioritize models with strong dealer networks and easy parts access to avoid long waits or expensive repairs down the line. Don't get distracted by limited-time incentives or luxury badges. Stick to the basics of reliability, predictable costs, and steady resale value. A few extra hours of research up front can save thousands over the life of the car, turning a big purchase into a smart investment. Every data point in this documentary comes from published independent sources. Reliability and ownership cost figures were drawn from Consumer Reports, J.D. Power, Kelley Blue Book, Edmunds, and manufacturer documentation. Depreciation rates and resale values are based on recent studies by IC Cars, Car Edge, and auction data from Mannheim. Maintenance and repair costs reflect national averages compiled by RepairPal and Your Mechanic, and real-world owner surveys. Insurance premiums and financing trends were sourced from Insurify, NerdWallet, and Bankrate. For viewers who want to verify every claim or dig deeper, a full list of sources and citations is available for download in the video description, along with a customizable spreadsheet to compare total cost of ownership across brands and models. Anyone with updated figures, corrections, or additional evidence is encouraged to share. Transparency and accuracy matter most when making decisions that impact your wallet for years to come. Across all 12 entries, one pattern stands out. Brand prestige and flashy features often mask staggering real costs, including depreciation, repairs, and vanishing resale value. The data shows these badges are less about luxury and more about financial risk, draining tens of thousands from owners. In today's market, smart choices mean looking past the badge to what truly holds value. The real luxury is protecting your wallet. Which car brand shocked you most? Let us know below.